Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Elevenlabs has a little something they might want to worry about, and it's called Play.ht, and we're going to just dive right in right now. It does have very natural sounding voices. Let's listen to a couple here on their homepage.
Thanks for calling PlayHT. How can I help you today?
Hey, yeah, I just bought a subscription with PlayHT, and I'm not sure how to activate it.
Okay, sure. To activate your subscription...
Okay, that definitely sounds natural. All right, let's listen more.
Into something seriously delightful, a classic chocolate cake recipe. I mean, who doesn't love a good chocolate cake, right?
That's text to speech.
Once upon a time, in a magical forest, there lived a little fairy named Rosie.
Not mistake my silence for lack of grief.
So very impressive in terms of sounding natural, and that's what you want. And that was really what Elevenlabs boasted as being unique about them, and it was. They did a really, really good job, and they still do, but this is really great. And this also has some features that Elevenlabs does not, but it also is missing one key feature for me, and we'll talk about that when we get there. And when you come to this page, you're going to see that there is a lot of information here, a lot of use cases, a lot of ideas for how you could use this. They do a really great job, and of course, they have some more demos.
My voice is the perfect choice for your children's audiobooks.
And I like reading bedtime stories out loud.
That is crazy.
Believe you shall. Understand the clones.
Maybe you need to create a marketing video.
And you'll notice here emotions.
I've had just about enough of you, Dutch.
So you're going to find when we do the demo here, you have a lot more control over emotional expression here than you do over at Elevenlabs, including putting pauses where you want. So we're going to check that out too. So scrolling down the page, you'll see that they have different languages, hundreds of different languages. So for example, here's one voice speaking English.
Generative artificial intelligence is going to change our lives.
And then the same voice in French.
L'intelligence artificielle générative va changer nos vies.
And in Japanese.
生成人工知能は私たちの生活を変えようとしています。
So it sounds like maybe the quality of the voices are a little bit different, but it's probably using the same model. I invite you to take some time when you want to and look at this page because they really do answer a lot of questions. And if you're new to voice cloning in general, it's a great place to start. Let's go to the studio and start doing this. So you're going to create an account with Google or your email. And then once you're in, they'll walk you through getting started. So let's take a look at their plan here just so we can understand it from the beginning. So the free plan, you get 12,500 characters for text-to-speech. You can clone one voice and you have access to all the voices and the languages. You don't have access to the high-fidelity clones or commercial use of what you do, and you have to attribute any audio that you use to PlayHT. The next step up is the creator, where you get 3 million characters, about 70 hours per year. I figured that's about 250,000 characters per month, and Elevenlabs' $30 a month plan covers 100,000 characters. But there is that one key feature, though, that this doesn't have, that you do have with Elevenlabs at that level. And then, of course, the unlimited plan. So if you're really a hardcore, devoted voice cloner and you use it all the time, this definitely makes the most sense because you have unlimited characters per year, unlimited regenerations, unlimited voice clones, and the high fidelity clone, which I guess you might use for your favorite voice or the one that you would use the most for professional purposes, I assume. All languages and voices, plus commercial use, and then faster generations. And then, of course, the ever-present enterprise option, call us, we'll talk. Now, if you're interested in this, I would check the page because they've been known to run extreme specials. As I record this, there is 24 hours left on a special. They're currently running a special, which I doubt will be active by the time I get this up there, for $29 a month when you pay annually for the unlimited plan. That is crazy for what you get. So perhaps when you watch this video, if it's not there, they'll have another special for some occasion at some point. I would love that because that is a fantastic price. Okay, so let's go create a file. They have different models you can choose from. Their latest one being the 2.0 model, which we'll use here. But you also have a model and you have the standard model. And the standard model is where you're going to currently find your 100 plus languages. They're not as conversational as the version 2.0, but they're still pretty good. And if you need translation, this is a great place to go because it does sound better than a lot of others out there. So let's start with the 2.0 version and just let's do something here. So actually even have sample scripts here to play with if you're brand new to this. For example, a customer support script, and they've chosen Ruby. So let's just click on Ruby and we can kind of maybe scroll down and see what Ruby sounds like before we generate from her. We can do a little preview.
If you're feeling good right now, or just even okay, it's a great time to take a mental snapshot of what's going on around you.
That's a great voice. Let's use it. So I'm going to click confirm, and then I'm going to click this button here, and it will generate.
What speaking, right? Yeah, for sure. Let me just pull up your details real quick. Can you tell me your account email or your phone number?
Got the us in there. I mean, they put that in. They wrote it in the script, but they read the ums just right and very natural. But now that was being a little fast there. And what's great here is that you actually have control over the speed. So if you want to take it down a notch, you can do that and then regenerate.
Speaking.
Have here, which is amazing, is the ability to add specific emotion. Now, not all voices have this, but some of them do, and this one does. So, for example, what we just listened to had no emotion attached. It was default. We can make her happy, sad, angry, disgusted, fearful, or surprised. And I will say, if you sample script here, so why don't we do like a news and voice.
Hey, thank you for calling in any sort of marketing.
All right, that's narrative, which would be good for a news thing. So let's choose Larry there and click confirm and listen to this.
It's following up with the release of Code Llama, a version of the model that has been tuned for programming tasks.
If you'll notice, when I created that audio track down here at the bottom on a timeline, we have a representation of that, and we can move this around as we'd like. So let's create our next line of dialogue, and all we have to do is press the enter key or click here to create a new paragraph. When we do that, now we can type in another line and choose another voice and add new emotion and everything. So let's pretend like this was a newscast and he has a co-anchor who's going to interrupt him here. All right, I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to click confirm, and I'm going to add an emotion. So maybe anger.
Programming tasks.
Can I just stop you there for a second, Larry? I've got something way more important to say.
All right, we'll go back up here. We'll hit enter. We'll start a new paragraph. We'll go back and choose Larry again. Choose the narrative. You'll notice there's an advertising version too. Let's just peek and see what that sounds like.
We know this city better than anyone and can expertly consult you on property.
Right, so he's got a little of this jazz going on there. All right, let's confirm. And so she says, can I stop you there for just a second? Something way more important to say. You know, that's just what I'd expect you to say, since it's always all about you. And I'll put an exclamation point and regenerate.
You know, that's just what I'd expect you to say, since it's always all about you, isn't it?
All right, well, that'll work. All right, so that's the line that's in here, and we'll just leave that there. Now let's bring a third party in here. Let's open up another paragraph here and find some big foreboding voice. And for the third voice, we're going to do a voice clone. And whose voice will we clone? Why, mine, of course, because I give myself approval to do so. So here's what we're going to do. As I said, with the free account, you do get to clone a voice. That's what we're going to do. Click here. The voice name is, why, it's Bob Doyle, of course. And I'm a male, and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to upload a voice sample. So this is one called Relaxed Bob, which is just me talking in a normal conversational tone for about 30 seconds or so. And I hereby confirm that I have the necessary rights. As I said, we had a discussion, me, and we decided this would be okay. So create, and just like Elevenlabs, boom, it's done in no time. So I'm going to click on use, and then I'm going to need to go back to the conversation we were working on by clicking on it over here on the left. And then we're going to create a new narrative there with the Bob voice cloned, right? Confirm and say, and remember it's the relaxed Bob, so he can't be all angry. It's got to be, okay, you guys, how many times are we going to do this while live on the air before you get the idea that it's not a good idea? Okay, I gave myself more lines. All right, so let's just leave it how it is. I'm not going to change any advanced voice and just see what it is. Well, actually, I think add emotion. We'll see what anger does to this relaxed voice. But I need to change the spelling of live because it's saying live. So I'm just going to make up L-Y-V-E. And before you get the idea that it's not ... a little pause there. I want to slow me down a little bit and maybe just leave it at default because angry's not really it either, and he doesn't want to be happy and he's not going to be sad. Regenerate. Okay, you guys, how many times are we going to do this while live on the air before you get the message that it's not a good idea? So this pacing is the pacing that I used when I was doing my conversational thing. I take pauses like this, I just would stop in the middle of a sentence, and it captured that. It doesn't really work very well for this particular thing, but it's really a great testament to how well it sampled the model. But it is a good clone of my voice, read like that. I've tested other voices too, and it does a really great job at cloning, as good as Elevenlabs in my opinion. So now down here at the bottom, we got this whole little scenario. I think I'd like this guy to jump in too. Let me just see if we can time that right.
Say.
You know, that's just what I'd expect you to say, since it's always all about you, isn't it?
Okay, you guys, how many times are we going to do this while live on the air before you get the message that it's not a good idea? So I see this as like, I can see them. I can see them at the podcast table, right? And they're doing their shtick and then they argue, and maybe this is the producer who comes in and says. So see, my mind is wanting to animate this immediately. Anyway, so that's version 2, and you can see the flexibility that this editor has to move things around and time things, and of course you have access to all those voices. Let's create a new file, and we're not going to look at HT1 because it's really, this is so much better, but the standard version offers up some unique features that we don't have up here, so let's take a look at it. So it brings you to a totally different interface. Let's click on Create Audio, and this is where we'll type in our text and choose all of our emotions and our voice, and we'll title it. Now you'll notice that there's a lot more voice styles here available for this version. You can even move over and there's more like whispering and stuff. This is where you can add specific pauses in particular places. So let's just create a little script like, hi. Now I won't be able to use my cloned voice here. This uses a whole other set of voices. So, hi, I'm just here to talk at you. I don't really have anything important to say because I'm just a stream of consciousness. So to choose a voice, we click here, and now we've got all sorts of options. We can choose male, we can choose female, we can choose kids, we can go between the premium and the standard voices, and also use cases. Do we want narrative voices, marketing promo voices, customer service voices, much like they do over at Elevenlabs. So let's go to male, let's choose a female voice and try.
Major reason why companies fail is that they run into the problem of there being little or
emphatic words such as yay, yeah, oh no.
Okay, well that's pretty impressive. Let's use Sarah. Click on Sarah, click on confirm. This, and we're gonna choose cheerful and listen.
Hi, I'm just here to talk at you. I don't really have anything important to say because I'm just a stream of consciousness.
All right, let's try sad.
Hi, I'm just here to talk at you. I don't really have anything important to say because I'm just a stream of consciousness.
That's great. How about unfriendly?
Hi, I'm just here to talk at you. I don't really have anything important to say because I'm just a stream of consciousness.
You know, that's a very specific nuance that they captured. How about whispering?
Hi, I'm just here to talk at you. I don't really have anything important to say.
Wow, that is pretty impressive for the old versions. I mean, it's not as conversational. Let's go to conversational again. Let's choose a different voice. Go to female. We want them with voice styles. We'll choose Nancy. She's got a lot of styles. And there they are up here. So let's say she's hopeful. Hope that the brownies have just the right amount of mint icing on them. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Okay, how about if she cheerfully was hoping?
I really hope that the brownies have just the right amount of mint icing on them.
How about shouting?
I really hope that the brownies have just the right amount of mint icing on them.
That's awesome. And by the way, all of that previewing I did in this particular section of the site used up none of my words and letters whatsoever. I can just preview this all day long. That's pretty good, right? So without worrying about the emotions, let's choose a different language. We'll choose Japanese, and then we'll go over to Google Translate. We'll go over to Google Translate and type something. I am starving. I'm really in the mood for popcorn, and I won't settle for anything less. All right, and then we're going to choose Japanese over here, and we're going to see if it translates this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back over here to play and choose a Japanese voice.
こちらでは配送手続きの
We'll just use that one. Click confirm. We will paste this in and see if it can read it.
お腹が空いた。本当にポップコーンが食べたい気分なので、それ以外では満足できません。
That's pretty impressive. Let's listen to the female version.
お腹が空いた。本当にポップコーンが食べたい気分なので、それ以外では満足できません。
It sounds great to me, but what do I know? I can't speak a syllable of Japanese. So even though this interface is, I guess, antiquated, it still does a great job and has a ton of flexibility and things you can't do with a more recent version. But clearly version 2 has way more conversational voices and the ability to clone voices. So now knowing all that and going back to this page and going, okay, I get 250,000 characters a month, basically 10 instant voice clones for $30 a month, which is basically what you're paying over at Elevenlabs. But what you don't get here that you do have at Elevenlabs, which I was of course very excited about when they launched it, is speech to speech. The ability to upload an audio file of somebody talking and then it be converted to one of these voices here. I don't know if that's in their plans, but if they did and included it in their current pricing, I think we have a new winner. And if somehow you can find it at this price and this is interesting to you, and you don't need speech to speech, then there is no reason for you not to jump on this, because there isn't anything else out there that I have ever heard that sounds nearly as close as Elevenlabs, and I really don't know if I'd be able to tell them apart. So guess what my next video is going to be? That's right, an in-depth comparison between the quality of voices and reading and naturalistic styles between these two programs, Play and Elevenlabs. But for today, I just wanted to introduce you to this so that you could go give it a shot. If this is the kind of content you love with everything inside you, please subscribe to this channel, because this is what we love to do here.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you. And I